Every woman over 50 deserves to feel beautiful. But what if the very things you're doing to look younger are secretly aging you faster? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the simple habits silently draining the life from your hair, and the timeless secrets that can bring back the shine, the strength, and the confidence you thought you'd lost. For many women, turning 50 feels like crossing an invisible threshold, one where your reflection begins to tell stories you never approved. You catch yourself in the mirror one morning, and suddenly, the hair that once danced with light looks dull, lifeless and fragile. You buy new shampoos, serums, maybe even promise yourself a radical haircut, yet something still feels off. The truth is, it's rarely about what you're not doing. It's about what you've been doing for years without realizing how deeply it's been aging your hair. Let's start with the most common silent culprit: overwashing. Most women over 50 were raised in the era of clean equals beautiful, where daily shampooing was a mark of good grooming. But as the decades pass, your scalp's natural oil production slows, and that daily wash begins stripping away the very moisture your hair needs to survive. The result? A dry, frizzy halo that makes every strand look thinner and older than it actually is. The fix isn't complicated. It's mindful. Washing 2 or 3 times a week, using a gentle sulfate-free shampoo, and allowing your scalp's oils to travel naturally down your strands restores that softness and subtle sheen you've been missing. Then there's the war with heat. Blow dryers, straighteners, curling irons, tools we once used to feel put together, now act like slow-burning torches against our aging strands. At 50, your hair's cuticle layer thins out, becoming more porous and vulnerable to breakage. Every blast of hot air widens that damage. It's not about giving up style, it's about redefining it. Try air drying halfway, then finishing on a cool setting. Swap tight curls for soft waves. Let your texture breathe again. There's something breathtaking about hair that looks effortlessly alive, rather than perfectly forced into shape. Another hidden age amplifier is the wrong haircut. So many women cling to the same cut they had in their 30s. Sharp layers, heavy bangs, or overly flat styles that once framed their youthful features. But as your face changes shape, so should your cut. The right hairstyle can lift your jawline, open your eyes, and soften every edge time has carved. Think airy layers that move with you, chin-grazing bobs that add bounce, or side-swept bangs that bring back that spark of curiosity in your eyes. Hair is architecture, and at 50, you deserve a blueprint that flatters who you've become, not who you once were. Let's also talk about color. Many women panic at the sight of their first silver strands and rush to cover them completely, trapping themselves in a cycle of harsh dyes every few weeks. Yet what most don't realize is that flat, one-tone color can actually make the skin look duller and older. Instead, subtle highlights, lowlights, or a dimensional gray blend add light back to your face, reflecting rather than masking your maturity. There's a certain confidence that comes from embracing dimension, from allowing your hair to hold its natural shimmer rather than chasing an artificial shade of youth. Finally, there's a habit almost no one mentions: neglecting your scalp. Your scalp is skin, living, breathing, aging skin. It needs exfoliation, hydration, and care, just like your face does. Decades of product buildup, sun exposure, and ignored dryness can suffocate hair growth. Once a week, massage your scalp with warm oil, argan, rosemary, or coconut, not only to nourish, but to stimulate blood flow. That gentle pressure wakes up dormant follicles, encouraging new growth and thicker texture over time. What women often forget is that healthy hair isn't just about appearance, it's about vitality. It's the quiet reflection of how you treat yourself when no one's watching. If your hair feels lifeless, it's not just about aging. It's about imbalance, too much stripping, too much covering, too much heat, too little compassion. Your hair tells your story. Every laugh, every heartbreak, every sunrise you've seen. And it deserves gentleness, not punishment disguised as beauty care. After 50, the secret isn't fighting age, it's learning to cooperate with it. When you do, something magical happens. Your hair doesn't just look younger, you do. The truth that few beauty magazines ever mention is this: youthful hair doesn't begin in the bathroom, it begins in the bloodstream. You can use the most expensive serums, oils and shampoos, but if your internal foundation is weakening, your hair will mirror that fatigue no matter how glossy it looks under a ring light. After 50, everything inside you, from your hormones to your metabolism, begins to whisper instead of shout, and your hair listens closely to every signal. One of the biggest invisible thieves of vitality is nutrient deficiency. Our diets evolve with age. Smaller portions, fewer cravings, maybe even fewer indulgences. But often, what disappears from our plate are the very building blocks that feed the scalp: protein, iron, zinc and biotin. Hair is made of keratin, a protein that requires amino acids to regenerate. Without it, your strands grow slower, thinner and more brittle. Many women unknowingly fall into a protein-light diet: salads, soups, smoothies, all healthy, yes, but not hair-sustaining. A serving of eggs, lentils, fish, or even a handful of nuts daily can spark visible change within weeks. It's not about eating more, it's about eating strategically. Then comes hormonal imbalance. Estrogen, the guardian of shine and elasticity, begins to fade, while androgen levels sometimes rise, shrinking follicles and triggering thinning. This shift can be emotionally devastating because it feels out of your control. But you can support your body's transition rather than battle it. Foods rich in phytoestrogens, like flax seeds, soybeans and chickpeas, act as gentle, natural allies. They mimic estrogen's soothing touch, helping your scalp maintain hydration and strength. Pair this with omega-3 fatty acids from salmon, walnuts or chia seeds, and your hair begins to rediscover its calm rhythm. Softer, fuller, more grounded. Stress, too, leaves fingerprints on your hair. You might not see it immediately, but chronic tension squeezes the life out of your follicles. When cortisol levels rise, blood flow to the scalp diminishes, starving the roots. Meditation, yoga, long walks. These aren't cliches for calm living, they are actual tools for regeneration. Imagine your scalp like a garden. Stress tightens the soil, making it impossible for new life to push through. The moment you allow relaxation to settle into your body, circulation improves. Oxygen returns and growth resumes, quietly, patiently, beautifully. Hydration is another forgotten cornerstone. As skin ages, it loses moisture retention, and so does the scalp. Drinking enough water sounds too simple to matter, but dehydration makes the scalp flaky, itchy, and prone to shedding. Think of every glass of water as a conditioner from within. You can boost this effect with a daily ritual. A few drops of rosemary or peppermint oil massaged gently before bed. These oils don't just smell luxurious. They stimulate blood vessels beneath the skin, waking up sleepy follicles and improving density over time. What most women also overlook is sleep. Hair has a growth cycle tied to your body's repair process, which happens mostly during deep rest. Skipping proper sleep is like skipping your hair's nighttime therapy session. It's during those quiet hours that collagen rebuilds, hormones stabilize, and your scalp renews its vitality. You can't fake that with caffeine or cosmetics. No serum can compete with genuine rest. Then there's the emotional side, the part we rarely admit. Sometimes we lose our hair because we've lost touch with ourselves. We stop touching our hair with affection. We rush through combing, pull too tight, or hide it in a bun because we're too busy. But touch is medicine. When you slow down and massage your scalp gently, you're not just stimulating growth, you're reconnecting with your body's story. You're saying, I still care, I'm still here, and that matters more than you think. Every strand of hair grows through a cycle of life, rest, and rebirth, just like you. When your internal world is nourished, your external beauty follows. The glow you thought you'd lost isn't gone. It's simply waiting for the right balance of nourishment, calm, and care to return. When you start feeding your body the way you once fed your ambitions, intentionally, patiently, lovingly, something profound shifts. Your hair begins to regain its rhythm, its flow, and its quiet confidence. It doesn't just frame your face anymore, it reflects your resilience. If there's one truth most women eventually discover, it's that beauty after 50 isn't a pursuit, it's a practice. It's not about chasing the girl you used to be, but caring for the woman you've become. And when it comes to your hair, this truth becomes almost poetic, because hair isn't just about style, it's an emotional language. It tells the world how gently you treat yourself, how confidently you stand in your story, and how deeply you respect the journey that brought you here. Every day, your hair silently records your habits, the way you brush it, the products you choose, even how you dry it, they all shape its health. And sometimes, the most innocent routines are the ones silently aging it the fastest. One of them is brushing aggressively. Many women still treat their hair as they did at 20, tugging at knots, pulling from root to tip, unaware that every rough stroke tears away strength. Mature hair is delicate. It's lived through hormones, heat, and countless dyes. It deserves patience. Always begin at the ends, gently detangling upward. Use a soft boar bristle brush or a wide tooth comb to minimize friction. Think of brushing not as maintenance, but as a moment of care, a small, daily meditation that reconnects you with your femininity. Another subtle habit that quietly steals radiance is tight styling. Ponytails, buns, and clips pulled too firmly strain your follicles. Over time, this can lead to traction alopecia, a kind of stress-related thinning near the temples and crown. Instead, opt for looser, natural styles that let your scalp breathe. If you love elegance, soft low buns or gentle waves create the same polished look without damage. Let your hair move. It's meant to dance, not suffocate. Then there's the obsession with perfection. Smooth every strand, hide every grey, fix every flyaway. The invisible pressure women carry is immense. But perfection is not youthful. It's exhausting. Youth is freedom. That lightness, that unfiltered ease. When you let your hair be slightly imperfect, you allow it to breathe. And in that freedom, it starts to look healthier, more vibrant. Don't chase flawlessness, chase vitality. That's the real glow people notice when you walk into a room. The products you use also whisper their influence daily. Many commercial shampoos and conditioners are still packed with sulfates, parabens, and silicones, ingredients that give temporary shine but long-term dullness. Over time, they build layers that suffocate your strands. Instead, look for natural or botanical formulations rich in keratin, collagen peptides, or argan oil. Rotate between a nourishing shampoo and a clarifying one to prevent buildup. And never skip a lightweight leave-in conditioner or serum. It's your invisible shield against pollution and UV rays, both of which accelerate aging. Another small but powerful shift is changing your pillowcase. Cotton, though soft, creates friction that weakens hair overnight. A silk or satin pillowcase reduces breakage and helps your natural oils stay balanced. You'll wake up with smoother strands and better skin too. These tiny details may seem insignificant, but together they form the quiet rituals of preservation. The difference between hair that merely survives and hair that thrives. And finally, there's the mindset, the most overlooked yet transformative piece of all. After 50, beauty is no longer about turning heads, it's about lifting hearts, especially your own. Every line on your face, every silver strand, is proof that you've lived fully, fiercely, and beautifully. When you stop fighting your reflection and start collaborating with it, something changes. You begin to glow differently. Not the glow of youth, but the glow of acceptance. And that glow is magnetic. Your hair is a mirror of how you feel about yourself. Feed it kindness, not criticism. Speak softly to it when you brush. Let it flow when you laugh. Protect it when you're out in the sun. And never forget that what makes you radiant isn't a secret product or miracle serum. It's the way you show up for yourself every single day. Aging doesn't dull beauty, neglect does. When you learn to treat your hair and your spirit with steady care, you don't just look younger. You feel timeless. Your reflection becomes a love letter to every woman you've been and everyone you're still becoming. Because the truth is simple, your hair doesn't define your age. Your energy does. And the moment you start nourishing both, you'll realize you never lost your beauty. You simply stopped noticing it.